And one of the, and for me, it's good that I don't need to be in that place because they're not easily accessible for me, because I write best if I'm either sitting on a beach or if I'm on a cruise ship. And there's something about the water and watching the sunset or the sunrise, something about that is very serene for me. And it's very motivating for me for my writing. And so, I generally go on one cruise a year, not more than that. So if I, had to wait for that particular time to write, I'd be in a lot of trouble because I can't crank out, 3 books on a 7-day cruise.
Right.
So it's not something that's not a scenery that I can take with me everywhere that I go. So I tell people that I believe writing comes easier the more you do it. And writers write. That's what a writer does. A writer writes. So every day, I think that we need to etch out some time to actually sit down and devote to our craft. And, it doesn't have to be a whole lot of time. And I think that's one of the things that bogs aspiring writers down, is that, they're looking at their calendar or maybe what they have to do, and they're thinking, okay, I don't have time to write. But I tell the students that come to my workshops quite often that writing can be 10 minutes a day. It's a matter of putting something on paper. It's a matter of getting into that scheme of things where it becomes natural to you to sit down and write, and it doesn't seem like a chore for you to do it. And if that means, just cutting out maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day and devoting that just to writing, then you can do that until you can develop yourself where you can give it more time. But the more you write, I believe the easier it comes to you, and you eventually find your own voice in your writing, and you find what times a day you're most motivated to write. And, then you have to kind of center it around that, because for me, I know I'm most creative during the evening and night hours. And so I do most of my writing in the late evening time. And so, once you find where your place of comfort is, where your writing is concerned, I think all of the other things will come together for you.
Right now I'm currently looking at your profile page on VelocityConnect.com, and I see that you've gotten a lot of awards here. Best Christian Fiction Author of the Year, Best Romance Award of the Year 2007, 2008 Best Christian Fiction Award. I see that you're, seem to do a lot with Essence magazines as far as getting on their bestseller, Walmart's bestseller list.
Right.
You're very, very successful. And one thing that I really like and notice about you is that you're not standoffish with your success. You actually are willing. As I talk to you now, I hear your character. You're willing to help other people reach their goals.
Right.
And I just want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for it, because that's not an easy thing to find in people. One of the reasons why I started Velocity Connect was to get people to share, what they're doing, who they are, what they're doing, what they want to accomplish, so that when you come across someone's page, if you can maybe speak a little word of encouragement or give a little tip here or there, point them to somebody, hey, I know this person, that it would be a great opportunity for someone to just connect and learn from someone who has already gone through the process.
Right.
And I knew of you, but I haven't actually connected with you until when I saw you on the site and start, seeing you log on, and I corresponded with you a few times. So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I know this month you'll be at the Valdosta Mall on June 20th, right?
June 20th, at 11 o'clock. The signing will start at that time.
11
and,
o'clock.
I will be there along with my daughter, so both of us will actually be there signing.
And your daughter actually has written about 3 books?
Yeah, her 3rd book just released on the 1st of this month. So, yes, she has 3 books. She's a student at UGA, home for the summer. But she's been writing, she started writing when she was around 14, I believe it was. And she was blessed to be picked up by a mainstream publishing house, and so this is her third book. So she's kind of an old pro at the age of 19. So
that's very impressive, man. When she gets 30, wow.
yeah.
Because I'm looking at your long list of books and accomplishments, and you're writing them out 2 and 3 a year. What's your experience like as far as being in the publishing business, working with different professionals in the business, also meeting, I guess celebrities and entertainers and
right. Well, I mean, being an author, and especially being a mainstream author, having traditional publishing houses to produce my books, has really allowed, my career to grow, because when you're with a mainstream publishing house, then on the day that your book is released, of course, it's everywhere. When you're self-published, a lot of times you have to build up to that, because you're basically selling them out the trunk of your car, or you're selling them to family and friends, and you put them on the internet and have people order them like that. But a lot of times they can't walk into the store and see your book sitting on the bookshelf when you're a self-published author. So until you can get that type of national distribution and national exposure, a lot of times you're limited. And for me, all 3 of the houses that I write for are mainstream publishing houses. And so I find myself going a lot of places, and I've done that from the beginning. Even when I was self-published, when my first book came out, I hit the ground running. And so I was always traveling as much as possible, because at the time I was still working a 9-to-5 in corporate America. So my time was limited to travel for the promotion of my books. But every opportunity that I had, if I could take advantage of it, I did that. And so, there's good, there's bad, there's ugly in the publishing industry, just about, like it is with any other industry that you're involved in. So, there will be people in the industry that will try and take advantage. There will be people in the industry, that will prey on your weaknesses and things of that nature. But then you'll also find people who are really there to help you, and people who are there to guide you along the way and help you reach whatever goals that you have set for yourself. So, there's both sides to that. So you have to come into the industry with both eyes open, and you have to come in with a tough skin as well, because, there will be discouragements along the way. And that happens, regardless of whether you're self-published or whether you're with a mainstream publishing house. And for me, it's just really been a blessing. I've had far more good than bad, so I don't even, most of the bad I forget about, because that's how minute it is compared to, the good things that I have received. And I have been able to meet a lot of wonderful people, celebrities and the like, in my travels. And a lot of that is due to the fact that there are so many celebrities now that are also writers that are putting out books.
Okay. I see.
So, I go to events and they're there. And so I'm able to, talk with them and fellowship with them, and they become just one of the writers. And then, I do a cruise every year. And so the Christian cruise that I host every year, I invite celebrity guests, singers and Stellar Award winners and Dove Award winners and Grammy winners and different ones on that ship. And so I'm able to fellowship with them. And so now, I'm on first name basis with a lot of those people, just simply because of the doors that have been opened through my literary career to do, branch out and do other things.
When do you normally have that cruise?
It's summer of every year. This is our 3rd year, so the name of the cruise is Cruising for Christ. So this year is Cruising for Christ 3, and it is September 5th through 12th of this year. And we generally go to the Western Caribbean in some way and visit some